Rather than use a sole trader or limited liability company to own your business, another option is to use a trust. But what is a trust? In this video, I will give you a very broad overview into trusts. A trust essentially is designed to protect the ownership of assets and to provide an income. Although there are different types of trusts with various purposes, they all have fundamentally the same structure. A trust is a legally binding arrangement to allow a person to transfer ownership of assets to be held in trust for beneficiaries. Now, a very important point to note is, unlike a limited liability company, trusts are not separate legal entities in their own right. Now, trusts can be used to manage personal and family assets and are a structure for managing investments, such as unit trusts and superannuation trusts. In the commercial context, there are trading trusts, and of course, charitable purposes, there are charitable trusts. The basic benefits are protection of selected assets against claims against creditors. For example, maybe you want to protect a family home from a potential failure of a business. Maybe you want to set aside money for special reasons, such as a child or grandchild's education or future, or to support a will and to ensure an inheritance is correctly distributed to your wishes. Now, some of the terms you should be familiar with in trusts are settler, a person or company who creates the trust; trustees, the person who manages the trust. The settler can also be a trustee. Professionals like lawyers, accountants, or companies, they have often set these up, act as independent trustees. Beneficiaries, the people who benefit from the trust. Trusteed, this is the legal document that will formally set up the trust and will outline the management of the trust. The trust deed needs to be very carefully written, certainly by a qualified lawyer. Legal ownership of the trust's assets is transferred to the trustees under the directions laid out in the trust deed, and the settlor then loses the legal ownership of those assets. As a result, from the time the trust comes into existence, trustees are always registered as the legal owner of trust assets. But despite legal ownerships, the trustees are bound to manage the trust assets in accordance with the trust deed. The beneficiaries are the only persons entitled to benefit from the trust assets held in trust by the trustees. The creation of trusts is an extremely complex area of law. Different types of trusts for various situations have been developed over time. And if you're thinking about establishing a trust, you'll need to have a clear understanding of what's involved and how the trust will function in accordance with your wishes. Take good advice and ask a lawyer who is experienced in trusts to work through your requirements. Let them recommend a structure and then set up that trust for you. Hey, thanks again for watching. If you want to know more, hit that subscribe button. Till next time, see you then.